All right, welcome to this explainer. Let's just jump right in. Employee transportation has completely shifted from being this annoying, everyday logistical hurdle to a massive strategic business function. Whether you're sitting in HR or running operations, figuring out how to get your workforce to the office safely and efficiently, it's absolutely paramount right now. So today we're unpacking the real, bottom line business value of employee transportation management systems, or ETMS for short. Here's our quick roadmap for today. We've got 5 sections lined up, taking us from the real-world headaches of manual scheduling all the way to measuring the concrete ROI of automated mobility. Let's kick things off with Section 1, the Strategic Transportation Challenge, where we'll look at how the daily commute is shifting from a nice little perk to an absolute imperative. This quote really hits the nail on the head. Providing transport is no longer just about moving people from point A to point B. It's actually evolved into a highly sought-after staff benefit. It's a huge tool for employee morale, retention, and even recruitment. Because think about it, to get 100% out of your team, you really need to make sure their journey to work is totally stress-free. But here's the catch. Managing all of this without the right tech, it is an absolute nightmare for operations teams. Doing route planning manually is just incredibly complex, especially when you're juggling dynamic shifts and constantly changing pickup locations. And without digital oversight, well, it inevitably leads to completely unnecessary driving, missed schedules, and climbing operational costs. And the hidden costs of poor management here are literally staggering. Financially, you're just burning capital on wasted fuel, not to mention paying administrative wages just to have people manning the phones all day. Then your productivity takes a massive hit because even a slight delay in attendance causes this huge ripple effect across all your shifts. And operationally, you end up with severely underutilized fleet resources, which is just a direct hit to your bottom line. Okay, moving on to Section 2, understanding the ETMS solution. We all know the manual process is completely broken, so how do we actually digitize the commute? Enter the Employee Transport Management System, or ETMS. This is your definitive tech answer. Basically, it's a comprehensive digital platform that uses GPS mapping and smart automation to totally streamline your route planning, track drivers in real time, and manage employee schedules. It essentially takes those old clipboards and endless form calls, tosses them out, and replaces them with an integrated app framework. It turns chaotic manual guesswork into a smooth, automated workflow. Which brings us to Section 3. Driving core business benefits. Let's look at how we transform this from a pure cost center into a massive value driver. When you automate your system, you're unlocking value across 4 distinct areas. First, you get drastic cost optimization by simply cutting out those unnecessary winding routes. Second, operational punctuality skyrockets, meaning employees are actually maximizing their working hours. Third, you're offering seamless employee convenience. Honestly, it feels just like using a modern ride-sharing app. And finally, automated fleet management lifts a massive administrative weight right off your operations team. And we absolutely cannot ignore safety and compliance here. With an ETMS, your operations center gets live GPS tracking and instant alerts if a vehicle deviates from its route. No more guessing where your fleet is. This kind of real-time visibility, especially when paired with passenger counts and health-conscious travel protocols, ensures total duty of care. It's pretty much non-negotiable for upholding corporate compliance in today's unpredictable environment. So how does it actually work in practice? It's a really smart 4-step automated workflow. Step 1, you just input the pickup locations and times. Step 2, the algorithm instantly optimizes the absolute best GPS routes based on real-time traffic. Step 3, notifications go straight to the driver's app, so 0 dispatchers are needed. And Step 4, your employees just track live arrivals right on their phones. Human error is literally taken completely out of the equation. All right, Section 4, measuring impact and ROI. We've seen the features, but how do we define operational excellence and actually measure the financial success? The operational leap we're talking about here is just night and day. We are moving far away from the chaos of manual phone calls, totally unnecessary mileage, and constantly late arrivals. Instead, we're stepping directly into a streamlined world. An ETMS gives you automated, optimized paths, a workforce that shows up exactly on time, and seamless app-based communication. This right here, this is true operational maturity. Now for the operational and financial leaders tuning in, here are the exact metrics you're going to want to track to prove out that rapid ROI. You're going to measure the transportation cost per employee by tracking the newly optimized fuel usage. You'll see a massive drop in administrative overhead because you're eliminating manual dispatch wages, and of course, you measure employee punctuality through shift arrival accuracy. Trust me, the data will very quickly show that the returns absolutely dwarf the initial investment. Let's wrap things up with Section 5, Future Trends and Next Steps, looking at where the evolution of smart mobility is heading next. This space is evolving incredibly fast. We've already moved from the old days of manual routing to today's smart ride-sharing style apps. But looking at the near future, the trend leans heavily into sustainable, green transportation. We're talking corporate EV carpooling and low-emission fleets. Getting an ETMS in place right now builds the digital infrastructure you're going to need to handle this inevitable green shift. Which brings us to the ultimate question every executive really needs to sit down and ask themselves. As your workforce grows and stabilizes, is your organization actually prepared to handle complex commuting logistics without just bleeding capital? To sum everything up, digitizing your transport management flips your operations from being a really vulnerable cost center into a massive strategic advantage. It slashes your overhead, it guarantees punctuality, and it heavily motivates your workforce by just making their lives easier. The data speaks for itself here. So the question is, will your company lead the way in smart, sustainable mobility, or are you going to be left paying the high price of the past?